Hello and welcome to Inlet Square Mall. We're in Myrtle's Inlet / Garden City area of town, and it is my yearly pilgrimage to Inlet Square Mall to update the status of its lack of stores. As you can see, this Books A Million sign, which used to reside here, is no longer here. Again, I come to Inlet Square Mall about every year just to do an update of the status in hopes that it's no longer a dead mall, that it's getting life. This time around, there's mild signs of life. There's a new store that opened up. But overall, I'm just going to lay it out there. This was a Sunday afternoon. So a weekend afternoon, middle of summer. Keep that in mind as you see all the stores that are closed as we go through here. All this empty space we're looking at used to be Frank's. It was a movie theater / bowling alley, arcade. So if you go back in time to the 90s, which is how I remember this mall, there used to be a music store, a record shop, the sound shop right there where this wall is. The bowling alley's on the other side of that wall, or it was when it was Frank's. Another thing I always remember when I come to Inlet Square Mall and do these, we'll call them a dead mall update, is that this was a Chick-fil-A decades ago. It's been other things, of course, but the telltale colors are still there. You got the gold and the red tiling on the back and the red lights hanging over the counter. All classic Chick-fil-A stuff. I'll always remember that was the Chick-fil-A at Inlet Square. As we go to the hub, the central hub of the mall, again, Sunday afternoon. This wasn't before opening or just after opening. All the shops that are in here that are operating establishments are closed, except for 2 or 3. I find it very odd. There were people walking the mall while we were here, so it was not a complete ghost town. That's the former, I believe, JCPenney, just ahead of us. Something I noticed is they keep Inlet Square Mall pretty clean. You'll see some of the fresh paint and clean floors momentarily. Here's a shop I was honestly interested in looking in. I like perusing old antique style shops, but it was closed, so not on this day. As I was saying, they keep them all very clean. The ceilings, the walls, they appear to have, I'm not going to say fresh paint, but they're clean, you know what I'm saying. The glass, none of the glass is broken, the lights are working, the floors are tidy, so they do maintain the space, and I appreciate that, because some of these malls that I've been to that you could call dead will have half the lights working, the floors will be cracked tile, not cleaned, dust everywhere, things like that. Not so much at Inlet Square. It's maintained. So there's a Planet Fitness in this back corner where there used to be a Kmart, and there's also a brand new store that just opened across the hall from Planet Fitness. This one has no name. I have no idea what it's called. We're just going to call it the new store. There's signage at the entries about their grand opening and their sale, but they do not specify their name. It's kind of a hodgepodge store of collectibles and active gear, it seems. And the classic fidget spinner sign that's been here for ever. There's the old Kmart, which is now appears to be a bike shop by appointment only. That's what the sign says on the glass. Similar to the bike shop we saw earlier that was by appointment only, this Nerd Bar, which seems to be a tabletop gaming miniatures shop, also had a sign on it that said, hey, call me if you want to use the space. So maybe the concept of by appointment is what some of these shops utilize, because more often than not when I visit this mall during operating hours, the vast majority of these locations are closed. So maybe that's just a new business model I'm not familiar with, the by appointment model. Another shop I was genuinely curious to explore said it was closed until the following day for reasons. Again, I really dig these kind of shops. This place, D&J, also a unique business model that I appreciate. It's a tech video game computer store, sure. You've seen this before, new and used stuff, but they have a gaming bar or a gaming cafe. I don't know how you want to define this, but it's space you can rent by the hour or by party, and you sit back and you play games. I could see a young crowd, like young teens, stuff, or hey, big parties of adults that just all want to get together. And they don't have the space in their own home to play like what I would call, this shows my age, a LAN party. You know what I'm talking about if you know what that means. Also, another very interesting music shop closed up for today. Old Steinmart looking very empty. And swinging left from the Belk is, to me, always will be, the old Bookstore. Bought plenty of magazines from that place back in the day. And correct me if I'm wrong, I remember a place called Heroes Hangout right about here, that back in the 90s, before nerd culture, anime, things like that were cool, it was one of the only places you could get stuff. Myrtle Square Mall also had one of those shops. There is a mixed drink booth opening up here where the pizzeria used to be in the food court. Corrado's Pizza used to be there decades ago. But now there's a new mixed drink, it looks like slushies, opening up there. And with that is the status of Inlet Square Mall. Not booming, but there is some signs of life. You got that J&D shop, you got this new store that just opened up. I'm just super curious how and when these shops are operational and how they stay in business. Maybe I need to visit in a weekday afternoon rather than a weekend. Maybe I'm overlooking the weekday. All right, everybody. There you go. Inlet Square Mall. Till the next video, take it easy.